Good afternoon, my fellow Africans. It's me again, Afamefuna Modo. I know most of you guys, are offended that I am antagonistic, on Christianity. Yes, I understand the feel. I was also a Christian. I followed this faith. I was faithful. I got to the depth of it. I got to the extreme of it. I thought it was a true faith. But by the grace of the Almighty, 6 years after I got born again, the great spirit, the supreme being, we call him Chukwokike Abiyama. He made me to understand that I didn't know him. It was around about 27 years later that I got to know what he was trying to, get me to understand. We were deceived by the West with this religion called Christianity they brought to us. How do I know? How can I substantiate what I'm saying? Now, I will show you. Do you know that there is this medieval Jewish, what are called medieval Jewish eschatological prophecy concerning one person they call Armilus. Armilus actually is a Hebrew word. It means anti-Messiah. The prophecy has it that, and this medieval period spanned between, I think, 500 CE and 1500 CE. The prophecy has it that there's going to be an Armilus, an anti-Messiah, that's going to conquer the whole earth and then centralizing its rulership or government in Jerusalem, is going to persecute the Jews. Historically, that prophecy has come to fulfillment, but most of us are ignorant of this. Now, let me show you. Apart from the persecution the Jews suffered from the time they disobeyed the word of the Almighty, the covenant of the Almighty from the Bible time, which eventually led to Judah being exiled from their land. And this persecution spanned from Babylon time. After Babylon, Persian king came in. They were still under Persian rule. Eventually Seleucid, that's Greek or whatever, empire. From Greek empire, we get to Roman empire. This persecution continued. Judah became a puppet state to the Romans. Okay, and this Rome, up to 70 AD, when eventually the Judah was exiled or conquered, destroyed, Jerusalem was destroyed, and Jews were pursued out of their land. It's still part of this prophecy, though. Okay, no, not part of the prophecy, but the persecution has already started before this time. Okay, during the medieval period, after Emperor Constantine had created Christianity in Byzantium and established it in the mother, actually, Empress Helena, was the one that built the Church of Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem and molded the statue of Jesus Christ. Now look at it. The Jews, they do not accept images in their worship, but this image actually represents idol, and people go there to bow down, kiss the feet of Jesus Christ, not knowing they are bowing down to idol, because the first commandment says, make no graven image for thyself, nor bow down, neither shalt thou bow down to them. So it's a contradiction of the law. It's a break of the law in the first place. So they centralized the government of this anti-Messiah in Jerusalem. Okay, this has already happened before the prophecy. Now, after the prophecy, something played out. Starting from 1099 AD, when um, the crusade started, because the Jews or the Roman Catholic Church needed to, fight back to take, pursue the Islamic state that was occupying Jerusalem then. So they launched this crusade starting from 1099 AD. On their way to Jerusalem, they met a Jewish community. They destroyed the community, massacred them. Part of this prophecy. Can you see that? And eventually it was through this crusade that the nations of the earth were conquered by the Roman Catholic Church. They called it religious salvation. If you don't accept the message of their Christ, they kill you. And this is contrary to the message we see in the scripture. The message of Yeshua, whom they changed or christened to Jesus. He said, if you go to a city and you are not received, he said, dust your feet and go. But those people forced this religion on people. No one forces you to take what is good. It's given freely. But this one was forced on nation. He conquered that with the spirit of Jesus Christ. The spirit actually which possessed Emperor Constantine prior to his to the battle, the battle of Milvian Bridge he embarked. That was the spirit. It was the same spirit. That was the spirit behind the name Jesus. So they conquered nation through this crusade and established what they achieved through the crusade with the inquisitions that followed. And with the inquisitions, it's all about finding out those that are not complying with what they taught them. And if you are not complying, they target heresy and then kill you. That's where the word heresy started, if I'm not mistaken. You get? So now, can you now see that even the spread of gospel to Africa, when they brought it to Igbo land, for instance, was still part of the movement, because they use war, they use the power of mortars and guns to conquer the Igbos, to make them accept this Christianity. They didn't accept it out of self-will. It was forced on them. The spirit of Jesus Christ is the spirit that conquered people, and is the spirit with which these people, the Western world that actually broke out of Rome, conquered the nations, including Igbos. That's how we got this Christianity in our land. So, can you see the fulfillment of that medieval Jewish eschatological prophecy? That it was the spirit of Jesus it was through the spirit of Jesus that they achieved this. Now look at what we have on ground today. The same people that conquered Nigeria, for instance, and some other nations of Africa, Britain, they are the one seated upon every democracy in the world. And the king is an adherent of the same faith, Christian faith. So the king, the crown, and Christ are jointly ruling over the nations, majority of the nations of the earth today. That is the spirit of the anti-Messiah. Because what the spirit of the anti-Messiah ensures is this. It ensures that nations will lose their messiahship, their right, their autonomy, their sovereignty. Their government is run centrally from the monarchy, from the British monarchy. Democracy. This is the Babylon system we are talking about. The Babylon system has two branches, the religious side and the political side, which is democracy. This is the spirit of the anti-Messiah. The spirit of the anti-Messiah ensures that you don't have sovereignty over your land, that you lose your messiahship, the right to rule yourself, to determine the kind of government you want. That is why you see trouble in Africa today. Anywhere you have democracy in Africa today, it's being run, controlled by the monarchy. That is why we cannot have the freedom we need. That's why we cannot enjoy our resources. The spirit of Jesus Christ is the spirit of the anti-Messiah. How do I know? Read 1 John chapter 4, verse 3. It says, any spirit that denies that Jesus, Yeshua actually came in the flesh, is the spirit of the anti-Messiah. What does it mean to come in the flesh? To come in the flesh is to be born of human parents. And Matthew chapter 1, verse 16 shows that Jesus was the biological son of Yeshua, or of Joseph, because Joseph was the last carrier of the seed. The seed promised Abraham, and what is seed? Seed is sperm. So he impregnated Mary to give birth to Yeshua. But these people turned the story upside down and deceived us. This is why Africa is suffering today. The hunger in the land, especially Nigeria today, has everything to do with their influence, the influence of those that brought this gospel to us. Check it out. They told us to go to heaven, the same people that brought this gospel, but they are the reason why we are suffering. We are in hunger today. I thought Deuteronomy 28 said that if we serve the Lord our God, will be the head and not the tail. Why are we the worst poverty capital? Do we still think? Wake up, brothers. Wake up, sisters. Wake up, Africans. Until we reclaim our messiahship, our sovereignty, by rejecting this lie the West gave us, we will never enjoy our lives. Now, like Dutty Bookman said to his brothers and sisters prior to Asian Revolution, if we don't take that advice seriously, if we don't replicate that advice in Africa, we will continue to suffer. What did he tell his countrymen? He told them, you want to win? Cast away your white God, talking about Jesus Christ. Embrace your African spirit. You are free. They went into that war the next day. They conquered. Look at Asia today. Look at China today. Look at India today. They are doing beautifully well. I'm not just antagonizing Christianity for fun or to entertain you, or because I have any special selfish interest to gain from me, or because I want to earn or gain followership. No. This is the solution to our problem, Nigeria. This is the solution to our problem, Africa. This is the solution to our problem, other nations of the earth that are still practicing Christianity. Christianity is a lie. Nobody died for you. Leviticus chapter 16, verse 34 establishes that the atonement for sin, our atonement of sin with the blood of animal, will last forever. The Almighty Creator does not speak twice. He speaks once. And what he says is repeated throughout generations. Even David put it succinctly when he said, once has the Lord spoken, twice have I heard it. Can you see? He is omniscient. He's all-knowing. He stood in the place of eternity and decreed the covenant, or the so-called Old Testament, the covenant he had with the Jews in the Bible, and said it was going to last forever. Does what lasts forever come to an end? No. So my people, we are deceived until we follow this instruction. You want to win? Cast away your white God. Embrace your African spirit. You are free. Until we imbibe that advice by Dutty Bookman, we will never escape this suffering. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Thanks.